is what we do in the morning. Number one, we're checking out Father Sun, saying good morning to the sun, getting our eyeballs that sunlight first thing in the morning, but also checking out the surf, the different options that we got for getting in the water, getting a little bit of movement in. We're gonna be recoding on the beach, doing some surfing, and then later today, we're gonna be at UbrZati with Zak, and Zak is gonna be showing us some cool things about what he's doing in terms of helping people recover and stay strong in their knees. We're gonna show him some Primal Movement stuff. We're gonna have a fun time on the Z treads. A lot of cool stuff happening today, and we're stoked to have you for the ride.
Let's actually start on the ground. Dig our feet into the sand. And let's find a good seiza position first. Pressing our thighs gently into the sand, leaning forward ever so slightly. Start to turn things on just a little bit. Do a couple shoulder rolls. Nice engagement in the front of your rib cage. And as you're cycling through, start to take inventory of what you feel in your body, all the way from the way your ankles are resting into the sand, your knees, the back of your knees, anything pushing or pulling, the hips, the low back. Just make a mental checklist of what we need to focus in on today and what areas need to expand, what areas need a little bit of that compression, what areas need more space, and just set that intention for everything else that we'll do today. Take your last big inhale and exhale, and now we're gonna take our hands and we're gonna give ourselves a nice little cross of the fingers, and we're gonna rest our knuckles right underneath our chin. We're gonna take a big inhale, and on the exhale, you're gonna raise your elbows up to the sky as you use your knuckles to push your neck back. How much farther you can reach your head back behind you. 2 more breaths, but reverse your inhales and exhales. So now inhale and exhale, return to center. Big inhale on the reach.
I refuse to let my sorrow in this world be the death of me. I never thought I would live to see my life turn out this way, but now my eyes are open, I can finally see we all can choose who we want to be. Growing pains, I can't let them grab a hold of my soul. Ball and chain.
Or 2. Let's keep this little toe tuck this time. Pick a side, any side, but now we're just keeping that nice little calf stretch. We're flexing it. Good. Inhale and pause. Exhale. Find length in the back of the neck or the front of the throat.
No life without growing pains.
Good. Hold. Shift all your body over to one leg. Let's go, well, yeah, whatever side you want to start on. You can open up, and then I'm gonna dig into the ground like I'm squishing a bug so I can find that hamstring, almost like a single side RDL. And now we are gonna single side hinge. Yep. Find your hamstring.
Growing pains.
Let's find our biggest back drop now. And sink into it again.
Ball and chain.
Now we are loading a little bit more.
I can't hold it anymore. Growing pains. Don't be afraid to open that door. Make no mistake. There's no life without growing pains.
Great job, team. My hips feel way more open. What's next is the ocean is calling us. It's time to hit the waves.
Tom, what are you riding today?
What am I riding today?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I got this special. Jimmy Jones. Mike Jones! She made.
Never know the reason, see me coming back. And then they come and do what telling me
go to hell in so long. I said some more singing, who the hell is you? Oh, you coming through, holding up them innocent.
Stoked. Now for food, training, and the rest of our day.
Didn't know you were a pro surfer.
I drink a lot of seawater, but hey.
That was awesome. How'd you like it?
It's fun. I love it. You gotta face your fears.
That first wave was pretty awesome.
Hey, one and done.
One and done.
Okay, we're here at UbrZati, home of the Z-Treads. It's a Primal Movement, ATG, knees over toes collaboration, and we're answering the question, how can we serve our athletes best? Keeping them strong, safe, and playing for a lifetime of durable, fast, and good movement. And we're utilizing the Z-Treads today. And so we're bringing two minds, some really high-level minds in the movement and rehab and athletic performance world together. And we're saying, how can we utilize a space like this to the best of our abilities? Let's go.
You were close.
Had to try again, they sent me home.
But out of reach.
Thank you so much for being here. This is a really cool, special training event. Zach and I have been in contact or known each other through the circles, and then we met outside the box 2 years ago, 1 year ago? 2 years ago, and to see someone who's open-minded, but also very focused not on their belief system, their philosophy, or their methods, but more so on the person that they're serving right in front of them. What we're hoping from this experience is ultimately just collaboration of ideas so that we can all understand our own movement, our own athleticism better, and if we are coaches, to be able to coach people in a higher way. All right, we're starting with the band around our low calves. Low calves around the band. Legs in the air. We're gonna be doing ankle circles. We're gonna go out to in, ankle circles, trying to engage the outside part of our legs. So let's get legs in the air. Nice, easy bend to your knees. And ankle circles going out to in first. 3, 2, 1, and go. We wanna feel the top of our feet and the outsides of our shins start to light up. Nice work. Controlling the way up and controlling the way down. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Holding at the top. Hands are at the ground, hips up, heels stay up. Walk your feet a little bit wider in that band. Press your heels away, your shins into the band. Find a big calf raise. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, in place. Alternating, 2, 1, and relax, shake it out, nice work. Hands coming up to your thighs. You take a big inhale, and on your exhale, you're gonna find a push in your hands. It's gonna find a pull in your right hip. Hold that, take a breath in, and on your exhale, press your knee, shin, and your foot even harder into the ground, as hard as you can. For 10, 9, 8.
Really depend on your position.
7.
For real. You a worker? Or what? Shit. Go like this. Sorry. Son of a queen, the father of two at the house. So wouldn't label you a hoe unless you was a holer, baby. Ain't no ruling you out. Fly shit appease those who know what they looking for. This ain't a movie about you. Part of shit that you attract, but really what's in your act and what you do with your mouth. Take a sec, pick a side. The journey ain't televised, ain't a view on the route. You gotta stand on what you did. Did you handle biz? Would you get into it, the clout? All depend on where you is when you win the jig. Not how you get food in the house. It work different as a worker though. I pray you bossing up in front of who is in doubt. Yeah, let it rock. Sorry. I like that. Look. Never was pimping, but listen when Nunk spoke. Hey, we lost him to gun smoke. Shit sad influence that's not.
All right, cool. Thank you for giving me a little runway to kind of play with some stuff. So gonna go through a handful of some of the big things we use in a lot of the ATG space. Kind of like Bam said, that's a big part of kind of my background, and I do think there's a lot of interesting intersection between those two systems in terms of where we're trying to go. We have kind of different methods of trying to get there. Within the primal space, it's a lot of very movement-based stuff, right? We're gonna train movement to get you moving better, feeling better, and also develop tissues the way that we want to. What we're trying to do with a lot of the kind of ATG knees over toes type stuff is build tissue or remove restrictions you might have in that tissue already to be able to then be stronger and express better movement. So it's trying to get the same outcome but from different spaces. And so I'm gonna show you guys a handful of things that will be slightly different than some of the things you do before. I'll show you kind of how I do them specifically, and then how you could probably make small tweaks to have it better fit the system that you guys already use. Just for a little bit of context, my main focus shtick, the thing that I do is kind of helping guys come back from ACL injuries, knee surgeries, that sort of thing. So a lot of this is a little bit more tissue focused, quad focused, and kind of knee focused specifically. So that's where a lot of the movements will come from, but then we can take and apply those to, like take those concepts and apply it to any joint in the body or any different thing that you guys have going on. Since we just finished up with some of the tread stuff, Bam got me inspired to, before we get into a little bit of just the straight up ATG moves, to do a little bit more kind of movement and plyo pieces. So I'll have you guys split up. We got 5 little boxes, stations. We'll kind of spread out as evenly as we can. And we're gonna go through just a couple of things on here, and then we'll go through a little bit on the sled, on the slants, and all those good things. So we're gonna go through 2 different kind of categories of plyos, of plyometrics. So we're trying to take some of the things that you guys have been working on in the primal space, and the goal with some of these, one of the great things about the sled, is carrying that over to more of the athletic side of things as well. How do we blend those two worlds of, yes, we want to feel good in our day-to-day, be able to sit on the floor, be able to do all of these things, but okay, if we want to be able to do a little bit more of the fun stuff as well, be able to run, sprint at a high level, how do we bridge that gap? And so the sprinting and plyometric sides are both fantastic ways in order to take what you guys have been working on and then apply that to more of the sports performance side of things. Is the 2 things we're really gonna be focused on here are that foot and ankle strength, and then as well as staying in the back chain. So doing this after something like the 20 minutes where Bam was absolutely smoking us will then prime you to not only train the performance and plyometric side of things, but do that with the movement patterns that we want to see going through all of these.
That's not to be dumb folk and kick shit at the front door. Meaning they knew from the jump where we come for. I made a promise to want the most for the.
One of the biggest things I think people do wrong with plyometrics or don't emphasize enough is the ground contact time. Like the point of a true plyometric is trying to strike and get off the floor as quickly as you possibly can. Too many people load and push, and then we lose the elasticity component. It should feel very springy. When you get it right, it should be almost effortless. There's not a lot of muscular effort that's coming here. We're coming from the tendons, from the fascia, from the connective tissue.
Most for the family to go for the juggle is cutthroat, and what's how fucking with us go. Aggression with lack of a hustle is bum shit. Rise over the dumb shit. Gotta go strengthen them ties when certified, so you safe when the sun set. But no guarantees you.
If there's one thing to take into all of the plyometric and sprint training you do, it's that every time you interact with the floor, it is a punch, not a push. All right? Plyometrics were originally termed shock training because you're trying to get that shock, that impulse into the floor. And so just having that intent with everything that you do jump-wise, it doesn't mean that slow stuff has no value, right? That's still much more propulsive, producing power. But for that elasticity piece, the intent with every single rep you do has to be that springiness off the floor. But you've definitely seen the backwards sled, right? So we were doing all of the forward stuff today to get into the foot and then to work that rotation, that spiral. The backwards one is one that I use a ton for all of my knee guys, all of my ACLs in particular. So 2 different ways. I'll show you kind of how we do it and then how you guys can kind of primalify it as well. We do more of just that traditional up tall, backwards, pushing through the foot right here, where all I'm trying to get is a stimulus into the knees. So we can start with that to see what that feels like, but then you guys can easily turn this into something that's a little bit more rotational, where I can still get a little bit more into that back chain.
You won't be the first guy to be with niggas who jump shit, but the safest agenda is one where your word is how to handle shit when it come quick. Bigger the bag, the smaller the loyalty. Yeah, speaking of fun shit, pray you never in need of a tag. The lawyer fees knew what holding your tongue meant. Sad when someone you have respect for would tell there's amongst this, but as common sense should be and determine the level that some hit. Some shit ain't disguised in between the lines.
One of the other benefits with the sled is that it's something you can train extremely hard that does not leave you sore. So if you guys are familiar with the idea of concentric versus eccentric loading, the sled has no eccentric load like a squat does. When I put my barbell, I put a barbell on my back. And it's that eccentric load that rips up tissue, that creates that DOMS, creates that soreness. So the sled is something I will do with people 4 or 5 weeks post ACL surgery, and then they can recover from it and come back and do it again tomorrow. So it makes it a fantastic conditioning tool because you really can't overdo it. If I'm more vertical, okay, now there's gonna be a little bit more load and stimulus in the quad and in the knee. But if I wanna make this, okay, maybe a little bit more primal, can I stay a little bit higher and now maybe a little bit more of a lean? And all of a sudden, now I'm in my back chain. So you can play with these to manipulate exactly what kind of stimulus you wanna do. And so I encourage you to play with both. Obviously, for you guys, most of what we're gonna do, we're gonna have that back chain kind of primal stimulus, but just see what it feels like to load the knee from time to time as well. Load at length, or strength through length. And the idea with that is that these extended positions, so, sorry, pause for 1 sec. The closing the joint has a real positive effect on the internal stuff within the joint. The loaded stretch has a real positive impact on the intramuscular connective tissue. It's like all the fascia, everything that runs the whole length of the body. So there's slightly different ones that people don't always kind of explain or think about that nuance, but deep squat, very, very joint heavy. Split squat, you get the joint heavy, but now we also get that connective tissue piece as well. The last thing that we'll go over would not be a ATG knees over toes mini workshop without doing some sort of deep squat. This is one that obviously you guys will have much more familiarity with than the average person. The main idea and the main benefit for this for me is that the loading through that deep range of motion seems to be very, very positive for the actual joint itself, the internal stuff, the tendons, the ligaments, the connective tissue. For me, with all of my ACL guys, I really think this is the secret sauce that kind of ties all of the strength work that we do together. I've worked with over 200 guys at this point, and we have yet to have a single person re-tear, re-injure their knee, their ACL from this, when the industry average is like 3 out of 4. And I think a big part of that is because we're not just strengthening the muscle tissue around the knee, but we're also strengthening all of the internal pieces, the tendons, the ligaments, and the connective tissue. So you can do this on a slant, you can do this on one leg, you can do this on toes. All of these, again, are just little variations that we can get into. Yeah, I didn't even know we had these. I love that. Yeah, 100%.
What's a good number? Like, what's a good challenge? Like,
We'll all start in the bottom. Like, yeah. We'll all start in the bottom. We'll all do it together. All right? On the slant or on your toes. Ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. If you get to the big toe, if you let the knees come narrow, you'll get more into that VMO, into that teardrop, which is one of the most important muscles for stabilizing and protecting the knee. 46, 47, 48, 49, 50.
10 more, right?
If you got them, let's go. Do them with me, come on. Come on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we're up at the end. Let's go. That's amazing. Great stuff. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Absolutely.
Okay, that was a super legit session. Thank you so much, Zach.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate you coming out. It was really smooth. We got into some primal movements in the beginning, or our kind of style of how we would prep for something like the Z treads. So you got to feel that. and then we got to play on the Z treads, do some sprinting, and then immediately went into some of your style of training, more ATG focused. Honestly, a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun today, and I felt some new things in my body that was really cool, and I really appreciated that we were able to do the entire session and have an open conversation and be like, this is how you can make small, subtle adjustments, but still get the effect that we're looking for. So legit. What was your take on, or what did you feel about the Primal Movement in the beginning?
Smoked me first and foremost. But I love the idea of, kind of like you said, of using that to prime the positions and movements and patterns we want to see somebody express when they do something at a higher intensity, and then go and train and run on the treadmill. Like, we had to do little, if any, coaching or cueing of actual mechanics on the treads. It was something of like, okay, we're going to train this. We're going to teach your body to feel what we want it to feel like. And then you can then go and use that and express that in the way that it wants to naturally on the treads.
I enjoyed the contrast of today's session because I was conversating with Julian about this emphasis on the back chain and operating from the posterior side. And we tend to kind of not purposefully neglect the front side, but it's there. And I think consciously when people start this work, they get very obsessed with the back. So it's nice doing the back chain posterior work and then going back into this space like, oh yeah, my quads, like, they're working, or I'm going through like this set and feeling a burn in a different spot. And it's not bad. It like felt really right with the balance between the two of the session today. I really enjoyed it.
And I think these literal fireside chats, like this is what it's all about. Like, this stuff is invaluable. Even just like the environment and things like that you guys have created today, like, this is the most fun that I've had training in as far back as I can remember for a while. And so like that sort of stuff, it's like there's so much more positive from being willing to reach out and connect with everybody else around you than there is from that just protective kind of me, I can't let other people in. Like, I don't know, that's just what it feels like. It's all way beyond just the actual sets and reps and training side of things. Like, that's what it feels like it's all about.
Okay, let's finish up with favorite part of the session. I want to hear favorite part of the session. My favorite part, honestly, was the 70 or 80 deep squat poses. That was legit. I like that. I was like, okay. I love finding different ways of torturing people in healthy ways. So
100%.
So I was like, that's what's up.
100%.
I liked all of it. It was all super fun. Two of my favorite parts are, again, just learning from both of you. And I loved when we circled up and did some gritty single leg loading in different ways. It was really spicy and challenging all of us. And we were all in it together. We were locked in. Teamwork makes the dream work. And then I love just that integration piece and feeling the plyometric aspect of the work that you were doing, and then taking that into those gritty burnouts. So all of it, cool.
My favorite part was the Z treads because I'm not out here. It's been a little over a year since the last time I was on the tread. Nice. And I do a bunch of endurance running. But I swear if I had one of those at home, I'd sprint a little bit more. And just getting on that thing and letting go, it feels good. And it's also like reminder of the difference of the endurance and sprinting realms. You want to be great at sprinting, but you love doing a lot of endurance running. So trying to find like what that balance looks like between the two of them. And I like the plyo work too. That was really fun.
Sweet. Yeah, those treads are definitely one of a kind. So yeah, to not have access to those are definitely nice. I think similar to you, I think we're both a little bit of a masochist. We enjoy torturing people in a productive way. So I very much enjoyed getting to share the pulsing session with you guys. It's also one of those things that I will not do by myself. So when you've got a whole group of people, it'll make you push that little bit more. So that, and just the little session that I got to do with you guys, like getting to share some of that was really, really cool. So I very much appreciated the opportunity to come out here and do some of that with you guys.
Awesome. All right, before we break links, Instagram, we are at
Zak Woodward ATP.
Zak Woodward ATP. Nice. And website or anywhere else we can get a hold of you?
Instagram, YouTube, newsletter. Instagram and YouTube is we're starting to do a little bit more long form stuff.
Nice.
That's coming out. So I'm really, really enjoying getting the dive deep. And then otherwise, Instagram's probably the best place.
Yeah, Zak is the guy. If you have hurt yourself, especially if you have an ACL, go talk to this guy. Peace. Thanks for being here. Woo! We got lasagna to eat.
Let's go. I love that.
It looks like one of those birds on like a rhino or something in nature.
Boom in the moon, the road is knocking at my door.
the truth about Bam Lionheart.
Thank you so much for joining us on an epic day of movement here in Florida with moving on the beach, surfing, training on the Z treads, Zak Woodward coming out. We're finishing off our day with a primal dinner, eating on the ground with community, around a fire, how we do. Thanks for being part of this movement, and thank you for following along. Check out www.primalmovement.org for more good movement medicine. You!